Hi guys, and I have to say I'm sorry, like just a heads up before I do anything else, because I'd uploaded a video earlier today on how I support Marco Rubio, and it turns out that the video didn't have any sound. And I didn't realize this until just recently when I went to check how many views on the video. And I started playing and I couldn't hear anything, and I was like, oh crap. Crap. Let me fix that. So here I am making a new one in place of the old one. And like I said in the old one that you couldn't hear, the reason I'm making the video is because I went to a Marco Rubio rally today, and I wanted to upload a video prior to the rally as to why I supported Marco Rubio as a candidate, as opposed to Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or Ben Carson, or why can't I remember his name? But anyway, or the other guy. And first of all, I really do like the Ben Cruz and the other guy. Sorry, I'm really having a mind blank right now. But there's just no momentum, and at this point, first of all, I love Marco Rubio's views. Like, it's not like I'm picking him because there's no other choice. I do like him, and I like the other two guys, but at the same time, there's a kind of, not that I've counted them out, but I thought logically is, I really don't want Trump in office, and right now I'm looking for a candidate that can actually beat him. And yes, again, I agree with what Marco Rubio says, but at the same time, it's also because he's a very dynamic guy, and I can see him beating Trump if it was him and Trump head on head. I don't like Ted Cruz. I don't know what it is about Ted Cruz. Not a fan of him. He just seems sleazy to me. But anyway, okay, the reason I'm a big fan of Marco Rubio is, first, the college student in me really likes him because this college, I don't want to pay for everybody else's life person, Republican in me who doesn't want to have to pay for another kid to spend the rest of my life paying for another kid to go to college. When, I could only spend maybe 10 years paying for myself to go to college. There's that. That in me wants to do it. But at the same time, the college student in me wants help. Like, I'm taking semesters off here and there because I can't afford to go back to back to back. But at the same time, like I said, I don't want to have to pay for everyone else to go to college as well when I could spend, 10, 15 years paying off the college debt that I'm getting. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? And he's the only candidate on the Republican side talking about it. Like, Trump and Cruz don't seem to care. And Ben Carson, I haven't heard anything from him, or the other guy. I've heard nothing. The only people who seem to be talking about it are Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Marco Rubio. And I'm not a fan of the idea of free college. And that's kind of what platform Bernie and Hillary are standing on. And so I'm against that. But Rubio's not saying, I don't want free college. I want them to pay for college as it is. He's saying, I know the college system is broken. It's absurd that you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on college once you've graduated. It's crazy. You shouldn't be spending so much on an investment that may not in the end help you enough to pay off the costs. He understands that. But at the same time, he's like, I can't say we're going to give you free college because we don't want to be taxing you out the nose for the rest of your life either. So he's like, here's some options. And a couple of the options he said is, first of all, make college not the only possibility. College shouldn't be your only life path. He's saying trade schools are another viable option. Let's make trade schools bigger. He's saying, let's do, let a company invest in a student's college, and if they succeed, the company makes back what it spent on the student. and then, if they don't, they fail, and that makes students want to work harder. He's given other options as well, which makes me happy. And then there's also healthcare. He's been very big on, taking away Obamacare, but not at the same time, not saying, Obamacare, or, we need to go back to the old system because the old system's broken. He's said that over and over again. So he's given options other than Obamacare. He's, first of all, for small businesses, which I'm a big, fan of, small businesses. He's saying we'll give them options, instead of maybe forcing them to pay for their employees' health care, giving them a non-taxable healthcare fund for their employees, which the employees can then only spend on either like a healthcare savings fund or, their own choice of healthcare that they pick, or something along that lines. Or, working together with other small businesses, getting together, doing such things as that. He's giving options over and over again for all of the employees that he has. Which, again, I'm a big fan of. Like, the options is another thing that I'm a huge fan of. The fact that he understands that two people aren't the same and that people need options. You can't just assume that every person's going to be the same and that this thing that you're doing to help these people and help these people over here, because they're not. What was going to help me, is what's going to make my life easier, isn't going to make someone else's life easier. And he's given options so that we understand and we have that ability to, do something that makes our lives easier without hurting someone else. There's also the fact that he's Catholic. And I'm a Catholic born and raised, and so it's nice to see someone of my own religious beliefs up there, because you don't see a lot of Catholics, and to see him doing well, because there's always so much bad publicity on Catholics as a general, like, overarching thing, and it's nice to see someone who is Catholic standing and making it so far in the race. And his stance on abortion, I'm actually 100% pro-life. I mean, I'm not going to shove I'm pro-life down your throat. But if someone asks me for advice, I will tell them keep it 100% of the time. Unless, it's a life or death situation. I'm not one of those people that are like, the baby should leave even though the mother has to die. That's not me. That's where I draw the line. If it's between the mother's health, like if this baby lives, this mother will die because the baby will kill her. That's where I draw the line. But as far as if a mother's going to be perfectly fine, whether she should keep it or get rid of it, I'm very much pro-life. And he is too, and which is one of the reasons why I like him. And he has come out and say, because he did say at the beginning of this rape that he's pro-life, even in the case of incest and rape. And he's come out and said if a bill doesn't have incest or rape, it's not going to stop him from voting for it. And it's more like if it's in there, he's not going to not vote for it type thing. But I don't know how I feel about incest, but rape, I'm pretty much still on the side of you should keep it, because in my personal opinion, a lot of times that's a matter of how a person was raised. Rape isn't always, it's something more I feel like is put into people's minds, not a like born, like it's not hardwired into a person. It's something that you're raised with, like, you're raised thinking that somehow women are objects and it's your right to dominate them type thing. So if you don't raise your child like that, they're not gonna become, they're less likely to become rapists. I'm not gonna say that it's always like that, but I feel like that is a portion of it. Like, it's raising in an environment they grow up in a lot, as much as it is mental and DNA and the way they were born. So I don't think you should necessarily count a kid as evil because you think his father was. And that's also very important to me. But again, that's just what I wanted. Like, those are most of the reasons. I also like the fact, for the most part, he has kept to what he said. Like, he hasn't been flip-flopping on issues like some of the other candidates on both sides. I'm just going to say that, on both sides. But I haven't seen him flip-flop a lot. I have to say, though, I'm not a big fan of the Trump trash bashing recently, though I understand why he's doing it. He's hoping to pick up a few more followers that way, and I think he is. I think he's just trying to show off that he isn't some scared little, like, choke artist, that he's got a backbone, that he is willing to stand up and call others out when they're, like, wrong, and that when there's something wrong with him. And so I understand that all the way. I just hate the name calling that is Washington. But, I mean, that's just everybody, and that's just how it is. And you see the ones that aren't doing it just kind of dying, fizzling and dying. And it makes me sad. But, so that's why I just wanted to make this video, just to say this is why I support the candidate I support. Leave a comment below with who you support and why. I'd like to hear your voice. Bye!